Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we are diving deep into the brand new powerhouse of a class that's taken Ragnarok Mobile by storm, Alinea, the new physical range job that's already being called one of the most overpowered characters in the current meta. If you're familiar with Dota 2, think of Alinea like a supercharged version of Io. But while Io enhances allied heroes by merging with them, boosting their stats and movement speed, there's a risky trade-off. If the ally goes down, Io goes down too. Alinea, on the other hand, takes this concept and dials it up to a whole new level. Imagine a character that can seamlessly hop between allies and enemies, buffing teammates while debuffing opponents, all while being completely untouchable. Yes, you heard that right. Alinea stays invulnerable when she's merged with others, and even more insanely, she can attack enemies without taking any hits back. It's like Io on a serious power trip, with none of the drawbacks. This OP twist has reshaped how we think about team dynamics and countering strategies. So buckle up, because we're about to break down what makes Alinea such a game changer, how she's bending the rules of PvP, and what strategies players are coming up with to deal with her. Let's get into it. We all thought the LMX job had already transformed the meta with its absurdly powerful shield, making traditional DPS builds feel almost obsolete. But now, with Alinea, the devs have raised the stakes yet again. And honestly, I'm left wondering, where does this job really fit? Is it a DPS? Is it a support? Because honestly, Alinea can effortlessly play both roles, and she's terrifying in each one. Consider Alinea as a support build. She hops onto a DPS character like Jormund, Thor, or even Kalitzberg, fully equipped with crowd control abilities, a massive shield, and an inflated health pool. The result? She becomes a kind of uber support, making DPS characters nearly unkillable. Imagine your main DPS suddenly gaining an unremovable shield, insane healing, a massive survivability boost, and enhanced stats and movement speed, all courtesy of Alinea. Isn't that just crazy? It's like turning your strongest hitters into unstoppable tanks with lethal power. And, of course, there's Alinea's DPS build, where she merges with a support like LMX and deals deadly damage while shielded. But even in her support role, with the right setup, she's practically untouchable, able to jump between allies and enemies without taking hits. Pair her with a Phantom Dancer for high evasion and stripping power, and you have a duo that wreaks absolute havoc. But honestly, there's a growing concern here with the fast-paced, power creep meta. Those of us who've invested heavily in other DPS classes, Thor, Fenrir, Kalitzberg, Jormund, are spending months grinding, perfecting gameplay, and maxing out runes, S runes, and S-star runes, not to mention the real money and effort involved. And then a new job like Alinea shows up, making everything we've worked on feel, well, outdated. With the Magic Prison Tournament just around the corner, it feels like every 2 months, a new wave of jobs overshadows what we've all put into our builds. And trust me, I feel it as a Kalitzberg main. Just when I think I can finally enjoy my build to the fullest, I'm up against DPS with LMX shields and now Alinea's absurd blend of power and invincibility. It's frustrating, and I know I'm not alone in wishing for some balance, some stability in the meta, that lets us all enjoy our builds without constantly being outdone by the latest character. So that's where we are, folks. Caught between excitement for what Alinea can do and concern for the game's balance. Let's jump in to see how Alinea's skills work and what counter-strategies might be possible. But here's hoping the devs can steer things back to balance over constant shake-ups. To counter Alinea effectively, focus on shutting down her main strengths with these targeted strategies. Disable Meteor Concerto with Earthfield. Earthfield is crucial against Alinea, as it directly disables her primary DPS skill, Meteor Concerto. This removes much of her burst potential, making her far less threatening. Use Chronomancer to limit DPS. A Chronomancer can fully counter Alinea's DPS potential by reversing her buffs and slowing her down. With Time's Call, CM can shut down her offensive power, especially if she's relying on a buffed ally. Pressure key allies. To prevent Alinea from achieving a tanky DPS role with ideal merges, e.g., LMX or PD, focus on pressuring these allies first. Weakening her rides forces Alinea into less optimal merges, limiting her durability. Leverage Light Shield. Light Shield offers protection for your team's high-value DPS and utility characters, countering Alinea's attacks even if she merges with an ally. Target her during solo merges. When Alinea merges with her pet, hit her with crowd control, CC, and high damage. Repeatedly interrupting her merges keeps her vulnerable and prevents her from dominating. By using Earthfield, Chronomancer, and well-timed pressure, you can keep Alinea's power in check and disrupt her impact in battle. After showing you Alinea gameplay, thanks to Koopy, I want to share some deeper thoughts about the current state of the game. Firstly, about building Alinea, it can be quite tricky, as her stats are spread across various areas. Since I primarily focus on DPS, I aim for a balanced build that maximizes skill damage, ignore defense, penetration, and medium damage, while also ensuring I maintain a decent amount of HP and shields to keep her survivable in tough battles. One of the key aspects of playing Alinea effectively is building synergy with your allies. Communication is vital here. Let your teammates know what stats you need from them, whether it's penetration, skill damage, or ignore defense. This collaborative approach can really enhance your performance on the battlefield. If you want more details on my build or specific strategies, feel free to check out the video or message me anytime. I'm always happy to share insights. However, while I'm excited about Alinea, I can't help but feel frustrated with the overall direction the game is heading. The way our investments are treated by the developers seems unfair, and I think it's important to address this. I get that games evolve and change over time, but the relentless cycle of new meta jobs being introduced every couple of months is taking a toll on us players, both financially and emotionally. My friend Jims often says, "You can find money, but you can't buy happiness." We play games to escape and unwind, yet we often find ourselves stressed, knowing that in just a few months, we'll be back to square one, grinding for runes, trying to adapt to the latest meta, and reworking our builds. It becomes exhausting, and many of us feel like we are on a hamster wheel that never stops turning. This situation isn't healthy for anyone involved. The developers really need to take a step back and re-evaluate how they're handling these updates. There are numerous issues in Ragnarok Mobile that need attention, from the lackluster GVG events to the limited maps available in the competitive Magic Prison Tournament. These problems make it difficult for players to stay engaged and enjoy the game. So, I'm reaching out to the developers. Please listen to your community. We want to continue loving this game, but it's essential for you to respect our investments and provide balanced content that keeps the gameplay enjoyable. Help us survive in this ever-evolving landscape. We are here because we care about the game and want to see it thrive, so let's work together to make that happen. I think that is all for now. Thank you for always listening to my rambling, appreciated it, and I'll see you in my new video.